Hello, thank you for listening to this episode of the Moore's October Rants. Today's rant is going to be titled Knowing When to Walk Away because, we get in certain situations, like we're talking to people or, we're in a certain, kind of situation where we're put in it, and it's not always necessarily a situation that we want to be put in. If that's a toxic friendship, if that's a loveless marriage, if that's a sexless marriage, if that's an argument with your parents, if it's, a situationship that you don't want to be in anymore. There's so many different things that we can find ourselves in. And it's really important to know when we should walk away, It's very difficult, but I think it's really important to figure that out for yourself because, everyone has a different breaking point. Everyone has a certain time when they feel like they should walk. And I feel like it's really important to know when to walk away, because, some people can take more than others. Some people are more suited for that than others. And, some people can take more, or some people are a little bit more clueless than other people. They just don't know when they should stop. And I feel like that can really be damaging to a person's mental health, when they're in a really bad situation and they just don't know when to walk away. So that's why it's so important to learn when to walk away. When you have had enough, when you realize it's not a good situation, when you know that it's a very toxic situation and, nothing good is going to come from it by staying entrapped in the situation. So it's so important to know when to walk away. And, sometimes it may feel like it's the wrong thing to do because we might feel like we're abandoning that person. But what's going to be better, like failing yourself, failing your own desires and falling into the trap of being stuck in something bad, or, them being upset about it, or like you have to really think of the consequence. And, it's not a good thing to be stuck in any bad situation. And, and maybe the other person is going to be upset when you do finally leave, because I know in some abusive relationships, the other person feels like they're trapped and they can't leave because the other person will kill them, will make their life a living hell if they try to leave, will do all kinds of things. So I understand that for some people, it's not a very easy thing to accomplish, but, you have to know when to walk away. And, and sometimes it's not just for you. Like, say you have kids and they're being affected by the situation, sometimes you have to think of other people than yourself, and, we all come across people like that just don't know when to leave. And again, it can be a very difficult thing, to pinpoint exactly when is the right time to leave, because sometimes you can get the situation wrong. Because I know that, a lot of people don't want to leave unless they feel like they've tried everything possible that they could. They put in enough effort, and some people don't feel like they have, but, some people have put in enough effort and they still don't feel like they have, so they just don't leave. Or, maybe they're being manipulated into staying in a bad situation. But, everyone has their time. Everyone, has their breaking point where they finally need to say, fuck you, and leave. And, it can be very, very horrible. It can be very hard to deal with when you reach that breaking point, because, when you're that like freaked out, like who knows what you might do or what you might say. You might hurt other people. So it's best just to leave before you reach that. So, I just don't want to see anyone in a bad situation like that. So, learn when to leave, and that can, and this can be applied to so many things. It can be applied to just you being in a certain situation. Like, say you went to, I don't know, McDonald's, and you were, buying some food, and you were sitting down and you were eating your meal, and let's say like a couple of people showed up and they started like fucking with customers, like started randomly yelling at people, like they say they're on drugs and they start fucking with people. like the best situation would probably be to leave, to take your stuff and like walk away and distance yourself from that situation, because only trouble's going to come from that, a lot of people messing with you, and who knows what will happen. So there's certain situations that you just need to get away from and not deal with, including that, like I know with arguments, it's really good to just walk away and not indulge yourself in that. So it can be applied to so many different things, and it's a very, very important skill to learn, or it's a very important skill to adapt. But anyways, I'm going to leave this rant where it is now. I've said enough. Thank you so much again for listening to the Moore's October rants, and I really appreciate all you guys listening, and, I'm definitely making more. I just have to come up with more topics and, figure out what I'm going to talk about, because I do these unscripted. They're not scripted. Everything you hear is me just talking on the top of my head. Like I've said, I just hit the record button and I just record, and what you hear is what you get. So, it's raw audio. Anything can be said, my hiccups, my fuck ups, everything is left in because it's a real situation. It's a real rant. It's real audio. It's just like if you're talking to somebody and they're ranting and they cough or they fuck up what they're saying. I try to keep it as authentic as possible. But anyways, this video is getting too long, so I'm going to end it here again. Thank you for listening. And yeah, like I said, I'll make some more soon, all right? Thanks, guys. Bye.